everyone. Marianne here from Small Biz Vantage. And I usually do live trainings on Tuesdays, but I wanted to do this one. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing from a post that I had put out there. And it was important to me to do this because, again, the reason why I go live and do these sessions is really because it's the stuff that clients and business owners are talking about. It's the things that they're struggling with, or it's stopping them. It's getting them in their way and they feel stuck. Many of the business owners that I speak with and clients that I work with are, successful. They have achieved a level of success, but they want to go further. So this topic was about being a business owner and all the demands that you have and being able to stop going 24/7. We feel like we are on all of the time. And I wanted to share some strategies with you. So I did a post and, in that post, I gave kind of like a quick outline, but I decided to unpack it this morning. So welcome. And if you are on the replay, feel free to share this to another business owner that because I really believe that, business owners can help other business owners. I think it's really important and it's key to, helping another business owner out and paying it forward because we have maybe gone through some type of challenge and we've gotten through that one, right? So we can help someone else out with it. And karma, someone else will help us. So I think that we can really learn from one another. So these are the things that I, help people with. So the idea here is businesses grow as owners and leaders grow. I say that all of the time. And so to prepare for this, I want to keep this brief today, a little bit longer than 15 minutes, but I really want to keep it brief. But, the demands of business ownership are real, right? And the funny thing is if you're a business owner, yet there's people out there, I'm sure you've heard this before, they'll think that you're lucky, right? Because we have to be honest, though. If we're really going to be honest, most of us didn't understand how demanding it would be when we got in it. So, we have to be fair. And a lot of owners, I find, wear what I call the badge of honor. Most business owners say that, work-life balance, the challenge is real. And many will proudly tell you that they work, all the time. Over 56 hours a week is common when I talk to people. When you think about it, 56 hours a week is 7 days a week, whether you cram it into 3 days, 5 days, or, 4 long days, it's still 7 days a week. So the idea here is to, stop going 24/7. And even when they're not working, many will say that they're still on. They eat, sleep and breathe their business. They're thinking about it all the time. And the downside of that is they're not really present, living in the moment, and they miss a lot in their personal life. Some have even said to me, like, what personal life? Like, that's gone. I don't have that anymore. So what I ask a lot of people when we're talking about this is, what do you want? Right? When I ask them what they want, their answers are in some form of fulfillment. That's what they're really talking about. They want to have a successful business, but they want to have a successful life. And that'll mean different things to different people. But what it comes down to is they really want to enjoy their business again. They want to support their team, and they really want to best serve their customers. And they believe that healthy, ethical profits should be the result, that it shouldn't be so hard to do that. And I agree, it really shouldn't be. But, that's the dream. That's the dream of what we want. But then we have the reality and the challenges. So one of the biggest challenges that most have is not realizing that the personal sacrifices that they're making in the beginning when they're getting started, they have that grit, they have that drive. can hold them back from actually realizing that dream. Because what could happen is when you're starting out, it's called startup. With when I discuss 5 stages of business with my clients, the first one is startup. When you're in startup, owners are overloaded with all the responsibilities, and the need for building new skills that they have to operate and run that business successfully. And the thing here is most owners, even after 10 years in, are operating or showing up the same way they did when they first started. So those habits and routines that they created early on, where they were like, grit and drive and I'll do it all. And you have to do that in the beginning. You absolutely have to. But what happens is they became the routines and habits that now hold them back. And when you're in it, you can't see it. Like, you don't realize it. You don't see what's happening to you until you kind of step back, or a family member or a friend may say to you, "Hey, what's going on? We're missing out on you. We miss you. We don't have to spend time with you anymore. Why do you have to work all of the time?" Those are the words that you'll hear from other people because they see it a lot of times before we do. So when we talk about strategies that can help you break free of going 24/7, the idea here is the first strategy is to create a new routine. So for many people, I'll say to them, plan your day the night before, because anything can happen in the morning, right? When you plan your day the night before, before you go to bed, whether it's at your end of your work day, whatever time it is that works for you, plan your day, just clear your head and put everything on your calendar. Block out your calendar, because if you want a fulfilling work in life, you really need to set the priorities in your calendar. And this could be anything from picking up your kid, or it could be putting your child to bed at night, that you want to do that. You put it in your calendar because it's a priority and you're going to stick to it. Maybe something that you have to get done. There may be 2 or 3 things that you have to get done at work. You want to put those in your calendar, because as we know, there will be things that will happen during the day that will pull you away. So once they're in your calendar and they're blocked, it's a great way for you to see them and stick to them. The other thing, the second strategy, is for you to be able to maintain your routine even when challenges happen. And this is really crucial. It's crucial to be consistent, even if it's in small ways, right? Because lacking the time to work on all areas of your business is something that a lot of owners talk about. We have sales, we have marketing, we have actual production, we have people, right? We have financials. There's so many different things. And a list of priorities for that day is huge. Don't put, 15 things on the list. It's the top priorities for that day. So when you get those things done, you can check them off and it really is a win for that day. The idea is not to overload yourself. The third strategy that will help you break free of going the 24/7 here is have somebody who expects something of you, meaning they're going to hold you accountable. When you have another person, whether it's on your team, another business owner, a mentor, a coach, that's expecting you to get something done, all of a sudden you make it happen because you want to be able to tell them that you got it done. And this accountability is amazing. And as business owners, we don't have that accountability. It's not built in. So we have to create that for ourselves. And that is a really great way to do this. The fourth one, the fourth strategy to help you break free of, going 24/7, is to concentrate on what you can change. Most of the time we spend time on the things that we can't change. And there's a lot of things going on in the economy. And if you listen to the news, it could really bring you down. And the idea here is we can waste so much time worrying about what won't work. That won't work for me. I tried it years ago, or I know someone else that did it and it didn't work for them. And this is especially true, concentrating on what you can change when we get stuck in the negative, right? And we start straying away from our objectives, our goals. We can really get stuck in that negative space. And what we don't want to do that, because things will happen, but we really want to focus and concentrate on the things that we can change. And that is really key, to not get sucked into the negative, which is really easy to do. And here's what happens when we get sucked in, right? We start to make up excuses. Well, I don't really have the time for this. And I think I need to learn a little bit more about this before I jump in. Or I'm not sure what to do exactly or where I start. I kind of feel uncomfortable about doing this or making this change, focusing on, what I need to change. I don't feel comfortable. It's out of my wheelhouse. Or that uncomfortableness could even come from a little bit of embarrassment. I've been in business for X amount of years. I should know this already. I don't understand why I don't. So they feel uncomfortable. Instead of going to that place, go to the place where I can work through this. This is something that I can do. I'm capable of this. I've done a lot of different things, gone through some difficult challenges in the past, and I can do this. So I hope you're finding this valuable, because I really wanted to unpack this. Again, if you're on the replay, these are topics that I talk about with clients and small business owners all of the time. And really, the strategies to stop going 24/7 are real. So, strategy number 5 is, just because a new skill initially takes a little bit longer, doesn't imply or mean that it's not worth developing. So we can get really frustrated because there's certain skills that we have that just are so easy for us. We can go through them really quickly. We use them all the time, and it's our wheelhouse. But now, to develop a new skill in the beginning, it takes a little bit longer. So if you find it difficult in the beginning, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try, because skills are honed gradually. And as you start honing your skill, because you're doing it, you're practicing it, you actually gain more confidence. Confidence comes from the doing. Confidence doesn't necessarily come from reading a book. Confidence doesn't come from listening to me speak. Even though this is valuable content, it comes from the actual doing. So we need to hone those skills. Start out slowly, one at a time, and improve as you go. And realize that progress is a journey rather than a single destination. We need to appreciate and value the journey and what we're learning. It also helps us become much better leaders. And the sixth strategy that can help you break free of going 24/7 is to create an environment, a successful environment for yourself. You're going to set up an environment that works for you, because, we talk about motivation all the time, and motivation is definitely something that's internal. And what motivates us is going to be different for each and every one of us as business owners. But motivation could be fickle. We have to be honest. Sometimes you can feel motivated and some days you don't. That's just nature, right? So if you want consistent growth, you need to design an environment for success. And that may look different for everyone else, right? It could be, going for a walk before. It could be setting up your office a certain way. It could be a routine when you get home, that you have a little bit of time for yourself and you can go through the day. So setting up that environment that works for you is really key. And, you have to, when you're setting up that environment for yourself, a successful environment, what you're doing is you're concentrating on who you are. So rather than performing at your very, very best and thinking that you have to be this, peak performer right away from the get-go, instead, what you want to do is establish what I call theme days and create a theme day in your calendars. It really can work for you. Do it that works for you. So, with a lot of my clients, I say, have a time on Monday that, for example, that's your marketing day. Doesn't mean that you're going to spend the whole darn day on marketing. It just means that you will spend some time, you carve out a chunk of time, and you'll work on marketing on Monday. That way, it's not 3 weeks before you looked at any of your marketing because it can get away from us. Things can happen during the day, but just say, okay, Mondays are set. Fridays can be financial Fridays where you look at different things that are going on, your reports, and you're looking at your financials. I speak to owners that haven't looked at their financials in weeks. So we don't want to let these things get away from us. So it's a great way to take all the different areas of your business and pick a theme day. And again, it does not have to be the entire day. We're talking about getting things done, right? And we're breaking free of the 24/7. So that's the idea here. And then the last tip, tip 7, is you need to care. And a lot of times what happens is the enjoyment starts getting sucked out of what we're doing and we're not really present. So if you don't care, right? Like I think, okay, otherwise what's the point here? Because make sure that your routines that you're trying to maintain are genuinely important to you. Make sure that you see the connection. A routine is great to establish if you know why you're doing it and where you're going. You can even get excited about it. But if you don't care, if there's nothing on the other side of this, then, what's the point of doing it? It's amazing how much time people can waste on things that aren't important. Like, when you think about it, how you can get lost in social media, you'll go there for actually one thing, but you can get lost in it. So the idea is to really care. There's only so much energy that you can devote in 24 hours. That's it. There's only so much. Pick an activity that's important to you. Pick an activity that you know will get you to your goal. If it's something that's important to you, you will figure out a way to make it work. It's so true. So these are the strategies that I help clients, that I help business owners with. And if you're stuck, struck and stuck, if you're stuck trying to get your life back, your business on track so that you can stop going 24/7, that you can be present, that you can have a life, you know, I invite you to a biggest challenge call. It's really simple. It's a free call. I love to do this for people. The idea here is so that we can discuss in a short period of time what your biggest challenge is. And then from there, I will ask you a few questions when you book the call so that I can do a little bit of pre work so that we can make the most of our time. Calls are usually about 30 minutes. And the idea here is you walk away with an action item that'll help you with that biggest challenge. No, that's it. It's a free call. And that's the goal, is to help you out with that biggest challenge, because I truly know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put here in the, I'm going to put here in the comments a link to a call, and and you can use that link. You can use that link and be happy to book a call with you. And if you're watching this on the replay, just message me and I say, I'm in. I want the call and I'm in. And I would be happy to get on that call with you. So just message me and say I'm in for the call, and I will send you a link for that call. So anyway, the goal here is to for you to really stop um, going 24/7. I know it's challenging, and I hope that these 7 strategies can help you so that you can have a life in a business that you absolutely love. It can be enjoyable, it could be sustainable, and it can be profitable as well. So everyone have a fantastic day.